Mr. Lui Tuck Yew has drawn praise from his fellow MPs for his work as Transport Minister in the wake of his decision to leave politics. MP Josephine, who served with Mr. Lui in the Transport Ministry, had this to say.
There are very few people in Singapore who know the public transport system as well as he does. He put his entire effort into trying to make the improvements. He left no stone unturned. I know that when the time comes, I will miss him sorely, because he brought so much to bear on all the initiatives. And in every of the measures that were rolled out, you have his stamp on it. And I am confident that given the time for these measures to take effect, we will see an improved transport system.
And Opposition leader Lau Thia Khiang says he was surprised by Transport Minister Lui Tuck Yew's decision to leave politics. Mr. Lau hailed him as hardworking, adding that this would be a loss to the cabinet. He was speaking to the media on the sidelines of a Meet the People session.
I thought he's a hardworking minister, and he goes to the ground to try his best to resolve transport issues. It is a loss to the cabinet. He's an experienced minister with, experience in how many different ministries. He's relatively young, can still contribute to the cabinet. And he's also the second minister for defense. So I was quite surprised why he resigned, and that his resignation has been accepted by the Prime Minister. I thought he can still contribute. And I thought the standard ethos of the PAP is that resignation doesn't solve the problem. You have to stay on to solve the problem as a minister. And so I cannot understand why it happened at this time and allow so much of interpretation and speculation as to why he suddenly resigned.
Meanwhile, Mr. Lui himself paid tribute to the transport sector's pioneers at his ministry's SG50 gala dinner this evening.
It started with a special generation, our pioneer generation. Ordinary men and women entrusted with the extraordinary mission of securing the success of newly independent Singapore. The odds were poor when we first started. At that time, expressions of belief that a tiny country with no natural resources could survive, let alone thrive, sounded irrational.
Mr. Lui also paid tribute to pioneers such as the late Mr. Sim Kee Boon, the man behind Changi Airport, and Mr. Tambia Ramase, who is LTA's longest-serving staff of 60 years and counting. But he added that the work was far from done, with each generation facing new and different challenges.